And here's the underground station at Stadtmitte, now well within the east. This was one of the two lines that went under East Germany, because this part of Mitte actually protruded out, and it was surrounded on three sides by West Berlin. And we get a very good idea of how close the stations are here. So Stadtmitte, that's on my line. And all this here, this was like the border place where the controls were, and the tank traps and all the rest of it. And here we have what would have been like the first street in East Berlin as one came from Leipzigerstrasse. This is Friedrichstrasse. Although only a few 100 meters, 300 or 400 meters from West Berlin, this was really at the heart of East Berlin. This is the district of Mitte. Oh yeah, wonderful lighting on this building. Didn't used to look like this. Mind you, the border area was better lit up in those days. So obviously it's a bit of a swap. Oh, there's a good one. Friedrichstrasse at night. And also, one needs to see my film on Checkpoint Charlie. November 2008. This is Friedrichstrasse looking to the south. Checkpoint Charlie's down there, and let's turn around. There we have the tram stop, nice new tram stop with a rickshaw pulling up behind the tram with lights. That's very clever. And we see the sign, which looks exactly the same, except the DV sign. Probably some of the lights weren't working, but that looked the same in the socialist days, unlike any of these buildings. Right. Crossing the road. Now here, the underground line wasn't operational here at all, because it was a western line. 3 stations in the east, and it was 3 or 4 maybe it was coming, and then it went out. But the S-Bahn worked here and it stopped here. For example, now when I travelled from Poland, I'd take the train from Gdansk, Szczecin, Berlin, Lichtenberg, and then you get the S-Bahn to here, to Friedrichstrasse. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can find the place where the crossing point was. There were 2 crossing points. One was underground into the U-Bahn, and the other one was above ground into the S-Bahn. If you are leaving East Germany, there was, I think, in this street here, although I'm not certain, there was a queue of people. So you came on the S-Bahn, for example, and you had to get into the U-Bahn or the West German, the West Berlin S-Bahn. So you'd take the control point. I think was here. I'm not certain. Seems to me that this was here. Didn't think I'd have to remember this, so I wasn't taking notes. No, but it didn't look like that one. But maybe it was here. Maybe you walked in, and there's some steps going, you're walking a bit further and there's some steps going down, which would be around here somewhere. And I mean, once when he didn't like what I had in my bag, so he pulled me off somewhere, I think it was over there. It's completely different. I remember a rather attractive border guard who went through my money once, which was very nice of me. And as I recall, I think it was so there's another control point here. The first control point was at the door, was a cursory glance at your passport. The second was here, with the money and what have you, and the third was somewhere down there, where they went through your passport, and that was really, you had to walk down a corridor which only one person could get through. And once you went through the corridor, they went to give your passport a good thorough looking over and put it under some light and what have you. Then the door only opened, and even for me, I was really thin then. Well, with a backpack on, I couldn't walk down sideways. I could only sort of glance over my shoulder, so I had the 90-degree angle. And once you got through, then you could go on the underground. You could go up into the S-Bahn. And I think it was here, I just don't know though. Oh, there was queues of old people who were, because old people could leave. Once you got over 65, you could get out quite willingly. It was just totally different. So I never thought I'd live to see this. This point is Friedrichstrasse. One of the lines which went into West Germany, which I think may be the one we're standing there, whereas the eastern ones ended. Obviously there's a huge thing stopping people getting from one place to another. Also there was these what appear to be, I remember there was soldiers, guards at the heights. Obviously they couldn't get down, so they were just as trapped themselves. And which appeared to be on the platforms there, so I think that platform does seem to exist. I'm not entirely certain.
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte Vorsicht am Gleis 3.
So there's a train which is going to Wannsee and further. It's going all the way through former West Berlin and then into East Germany, as it was. This here could be one of the shooting galleries, as I would call it, one of the guard points. It certainly looks like it, in fact. There would be no other point for it, as I recall. The guards, of course, who were above. We're just as trapped. Oh, and there's a train, looked like they did then. Just the same to me. Oh, and there's a new one. I was on one of them trains last week in France. Looks very similar to me. Maybe I'm completely wrong. And in Israel as well, they seem to be the same. Also, the through trains went through this point as well. Those, for example, that came from West Germany going on to Poland or even Soviet Union. Of course, they weren't allowed to stop here, or if they did stop, it was only for technical reasons, and nobody got anywhere near them. Those trains did not stop within East Germany. I'd just like to point out while I'm here that the Pergamon Bistro is the best, one of the best places in Berlin to eat, and it's certainly one of the best Turkish places anywhere that I know. And it's just under Friedrichstrasse station, you know.